Good morning, students. So in the first video you have seen about some introduction part related to the computer and the difference between the computer science and computer application and various scope that career opportunities available, job roles and responsibilities. I hope you got some awareness with respect to your scope, that is your career opportunities. So in this video, we will start with the syllabus, that is the chapter 1, Introduction to Computers. So in this chapter, we will be discussing starting with the small introduction to the computer and the various generations of computer. Based on the development of in the computer technology, they have categorized the computer to several generations. So generation of computer and the basic operations of computer. So the basic operation of computer is nothing but getting the input from the user and processing it with the help of the processor and producing an output. So this is the basic operations of a computer. And next is the components and their functions. Based on the operations of the computer, they have classified the components. That is the input unit from where it gets the input from the user, and the CPU, central processing unit, the control unit, where the process all it happens, and the output unit where it sends the output. So these are all the components of and their functions. And various input and output devices available. What are all the input devices available? How the user feed the data to the computer? How the user get the output from the computer? What devices are used? All these things we will be studying in the input and output devices. And last, booting of computer. So when you start or restart a computer, what happens in the process? So what all the process happens inside the computer, that we will be seeing in the booting of the computer. So first let us start with the introduction, a small introduction to the computer. That is, the computer plays a major role in every part of the human life. So computers are seen everywhere around us. So it plays in all the sectors, it plays a major role in all the sectors, starting from the education, research, travel and tourism, weather forecasting. All the weather forecasting reports are generated with the help of the computer. And social media. Social media is nothing but all the social networking comes under the social media, all works based on the computer. And e-commerce, that is online shopping, the Flipkart, Amazon, all the e-commerce works based on the computer. So why there is a necessity to develop a device called computer? What makes the human to think to develop a device? What makes the human to think to depend on a device? Because they need to perform the calculations at a faster rate. So during the manual work, the calculation was very slow and they are prone to errors. To avoid these issues, these drawbacks, they have think to develop a device which performs the calculation at a faster rate. Like that, they have developed the first calculating device as abacus. Based on the abacus, having the abacus as a base, they have upgraded their invention, and now we got the device called computer, which performs a calculation at a very fast rate with high accuracy. So what makes the human beings to depend on the computer or the device? These two things, the high accuracy and its speed. So these two things made the human beings to depend on the device. So this is all about the small introduction to the how the computer has been came into the picture. So now let us go with the next topic, that is the generations of computer. So based on the development in the computer technology, they have categorized the computer generations into 6 generations. So now let us see the generations of computer. In generations of computer, we are not going to remember the entire history of each generation. So we are going to remember only few points, the few major points in each generation. So first we have to know the which generation it belongs to, the generation name, that is the first generation, and the duration, the period duration, that is 1942 to 1955, and the major component used in each generation. So in first generation they have used the vacuum tubes. So this is the image of the vacuum tube. So it is a cylindrical structure. So we no need to go in depth of what the vacuum tube is and how it works. So we just know that vacuum tube is used in the first generation of computers. So what are the disadvantages because of using this vacuum tubes? We are going to see that. It is the merits and demerits. It is not, the vacuum tube is big in size. Because of using the vacuum tubes in the computers, the computer size is big. That is the meaning. Okay, and it consumes more power, and the malfunction due to overheat. And the malfunction due to overheat. And last one is machine language is used. Machine language is nothing but only the computer can, the device can able to understand the machine language, that is the binary digits. The binary means, bi means 2, that is either 0 or 1. It can able to understand only 0 or 1. What are all the communication, what we do, the communication will be converted to the computer only through binary digits. So only machine language was used. So these are all the disadvantages that are faced in the first generation. The first digital computer, that is ENIAC, that is they called as ENIAC. This is the first digital computer where they have used 17,000 vacuum tubes. So this is the image of the ENIAC, and you can able to see the vacuum tubes used. They have used 17,000 vacuum tubes, and it weighs about 27 to 30 tons, and it is huge in size, and it consumes 150 watts total current. So these are the major disadvantages they have faced. To overcome this, they have developed a new component which they have implemented in the second generation. Next we are going to see about the second generation. So the name of generation is second generation, and the period is 1955 to 1964, and the component they have used is transistors. So this is the image of the transistor, and by using this transistor they have overcome all the disadvantages what they have faced in the first generation. The three common disadvantages, the drawbacks they have faced is, that is the big in size, and malfunction due to overheat, and it consumes more power. All these three drawbacks has been overcome a little bit by implementing the component transistor. So that 3 point will be common in the upcoming generations, that is less power and consume less, produce less heat, and the computer size were smaller. So all these are common in the upcoming generation. So I have mentioned here is the unique merits and demerits. So first, the punch cards were used. Punch card is nothing but a thick card where the impression will be there. The data are stored in the impression. The data are read with the help of the reader, and the data are retrieved. The real-time example is the Braille book, where the blind people used to read the text. So next is the first operating system is developed. So first operating system is nothing but it helps the computer to initiate the process. It helps to start the computer. We can say it like that. Okay. There they have used two concepts. One is the batch processing. I split the word processing. Processing nothing but something you are going to process. Okay, you are going to do some work. And how we are going to do that? Based on batch. Batch is nothing but a group. Not doing or processing the entire information. Rather, they have splitted the information into various groups. They have also implemented multi-programming. Multi means various, two or more. Simultaneously, they process the information. They have segregated into various groups. They have separated the information into various groups for processing, and they have processed simultaneously. That is a multi-programming. Okay, based on this, they have by implementing this, they have reduced the time. By implementing these two concepts, they have reduced the processing time and increased the speed of the processing. And last one is the machine language and assembly language was used. So in first generation, we have told that machine language was used. Machine language is nothing but only language where the computer can able to read, computer can able to understand. That is the binary or hexadecimal. Okay. Whereas assembly language is nothing but a separate code, a unique code for a process will be assigned, and the assembler will convert that code to machine language. So this is the assembly language. So both are machine language and assembly language was used in the second generation. Next we will see the third generation. Next we are going to see about the third generation. The period duration of the third generation is 1964 to 1975, and the component they have used is integrated circuit, that we call it as IC. This is the image of the IC. It means that integration means it combines two or more functions into a single component or a single device. So that is the main advantage of the IC. So the merits and demerits, the unique merit is high level languages were used in the third generation. That is high level language. We have already seen machine language and assembly language, and here we are going to see about the high level language. High level language is nothing but it is a natural language. It can be easily understandable by the human, normal human, by the user. We can say that the language which the user can easily understand, we call it as a high level language, where the language is then converted with the help of a compiler to the machine language. Okay, so apart from this unique merit, there are we have told that there will be three common merits or demerits. So that is the computer size becomes smaller, and it consumes less power, and it also consumes less heat. Okay, it produces less heat. Next we will see about the fourth generation. The next we are going to see about the fourth generation. So the period of the fourth generation is 1975 to 1980, and the component they have used is microprocessor. In bracket I have written as VLSI, that is very large scale integrated circuit. We have seen that IC in the third generation. So it is the extension of the IC. We can call it as an upgrade version of the IC. That is a very large scale integrated circuit that we called a single name as a microprocessor. Okay. In this, the unique merits are microcomputer series was developed. That is microcomputer series by IBM and the Apple company was developed in this generation, and portable computers were introduced. That is the laptop. We call it as a portable computers. Portable means we can easily carry from one place to another location. Apart from this, there are the three common merits are there. That is, computer became smaller and faster and produced less heat and also consumed less power. So all these things will come under this, the fourth generation. And the next is the fifth generation. So the period of the fifth generation is 1982 till date, and the component used is ultra large scale integration. That is, we can say that upgradation of the VLSI. The previous generation, the component is microprocessor. That we called as a very large scale integration. This is ultra large scale integration. So it integrates so many functions into a single device, into a single component, or so many functionalities are combined into a single component. That is the ultra large scale integration. In this, the unique merits are the parallel processing. Parallel means it can process simultaneously. It can be able to process two work simultaneously. With this, the time get reduced, and it is acts as a superconductor. So whenever you study a new term, first you try to understand the general meaning of that term, so that it will be easy for you to get adapted with the technical term. Say for example, here conductor means in general the bus conductor. Imagine a bus conductor. What he will do? He will collect all the tickets from the bus depot, and he will share to the concerned person based on their needs. Concerned passenger based on their needs. He will distribute. Likewise here, it gather all the data from the user, from this common computer, and based on the requirement, it distributes the data. It shares the processing. Based on the availability, it shares the processing. Okay, based on the availability of the component or the processor, it shares the process. It distributes the process. It distributes the data. So whenever you study a technical term, new term, you go with the general meaning of that term and come back to the technical term means you can easily adopt with the meaning of the technical term. Okay. Next is can recognize images and graphics. The computer can able to understand what an image is or what an graphics is. So what the content is, what the image tries to convey as an input. So all these things can able to understandable by the computer in this fifth generation. Next is artificial intelligence. Artificial intelligence means it's nothing but human thought is already predefined to a program, to an algorithm, to the computer. It is already predefined to the computer. Say for example, a person is using a computer through an internet. What all the content he is using, based on that, the computer will act to that user. Say for example, if a person is looking for a particular content in the internet, automatically the internet understand that this person is interested more on this topic, on the specific topic, so he needs some more information. So when he return back, we need to show some information regarding his previous search. So this is what the computer thinks. Automatically it able to adapt with the human mind how he thinks. Based on that, it acts to the particular specific user. Okay, that is artificial intelligence. And the last one is the decision making and logical reasoning. The computer has been programmed to make a decision. It has the capability to make a decision whether to continue or not, based on in a certain situation. In the unconditional situation, it will decide automatically. Say for example, if you are inserting a pen drive, you are using a pen drive with the size of 8 GB and you have a content of 9 GB. Okay, automatically it will copy all the content till the 8 GB. Once it reaches the maximum size, it automatically stops the process and it will display information. How it checks? It checks logically, because it can able to understand how much the entire size of the pen drive is, and it knows that what all the content, how much size will be copied, and till the 8 GB, the maximum limit, it copies and automatically it stops the information. It stops the process. Automatically it stops the process. Okay, and it shows the information that the maximum limit is reached or the content cannot be copied due to the over size. Like that, it will display some information. So this is the decision making and logical thinking. So this is all about the merits in the fifth generation. So now let us see the last generation, that is the sixth generation. And the last generation which we are going to see is the sixth generation. So it is in upcoming generation in future, and the merits and the component is that is artificial intelligence and natural language processing is the technology which you are going to upgrade with in the upcoming years. And the merits and demerits is the parallel and distributed computing. We have already seen the parallel. It is simultaneously it can able to process more information, and distributed computing is nothing but it can able to distribute to the various number of users based on the availability of the process. It can able to distribute the process to the various processor. Okay, and next one is the development of robotics. So already we have stepped into the development of the robotics, and we have succeeded. And natural language processing is nothing but what we communicate, human to human. What we communicate is a natural language based on the language, that voice recognition software. Based on the software, it process the information, process the voice what we speak, and based on that it process the information. So this is all about the various generations of computer. So various development and what all the components they have used. Students, we will just recall what are all the topics which we have covered in this video. So the first thing we have seen that a small introduction to the computer. So we have seen that computer plays a major role in every part of the human life, and computers are seen everywhere around us in all the sectors, starting from education, weather forecasting, e-commerce, social media, and travel and tourism. In all the sectors, computer plays a major role. And also we see that why there is a need to develop a device called computer. So in those days, the human being found very difficult to do the calculation at a faster rate, and the results are prone to errors. So அவங்க பண்ற calculations எல்லாமே பெரிய பெரிய calculations ரொம்ப ஸ்லோவா இருந்துச்சு. அதுவும் இல்லாம ரொம்ப errors they found so many errors in the result. So அதெல்லாம் overcome பண்றதுக்காக they initiated to develop a device for fast calculation. So அந்த மாதிரி first calculating device கண்டுபிடிச்சதுனா abacus. Abacus பேஸா வச்சு they have upgraded the invention. So அப்படி invention upgrade பண்ணி நமக்கு கிடைச்ச ஒரு டிவைஸ் தான் கம்ப்யூட்டர். இப்போ நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கிறது. ரெண்டு அட்வான்டேஜ் மட்டும்தான் கம்ப்யூட்டர் ஹியூமன் பீயிங்க கம்ப்யூட்டர் டிபெண்ட் பண்ணி வச்சிருக்கிறது. என்ன அட்வான்டேஜ் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா, ஒன்று ஹை அக்யூரசி அண்ட் ஸ்பீட். இந்த ரெண்டு அட்வான்டேஜ்னால மட்டும்தான் ஹியூமன் பீயிங் கம்ப்யூட்டரை ஃபுல் அண்ட் ஃபுல் டிபெண்ட் பண்ணி இருந்தாங்க. இப்பயும் அப்படிதான் இருக்காங்க. ஓகே, அதுக்கப்புறம் நெக்ஸ்ட் என்ன டாபிக் பார்த்தோம் அப்படின்னா, ஜென்ரேஷன்ஸ் ஆஃப் கம்ப்யூட்டர். ஸ்டூடெண்ட்ஸ், இந்த ஜென்ரேஷன் ஆஃப் கம்ப்யூட்டர் நீங்கள் எழுதும்போது மெயினான திங் நம்ம எழுதுறது பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் நேம் ஆஃப் ஜென்ரேஷன், தட் இஸ் சீரியல் நம்பர் எழுதுவோம், ஜென்ரேஷன் ஆஃப் த கம்ப்யூட்டர் எழுதுவோம், என்ன ஜென்ரேஷன் அப்படின்ட்டு. நெக்ஸ்ட் இயர் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம், அந்த வருஷம் என்ன வருஷம், அந்த டியூரேஷன் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். அதே மாதிரி என்ன காம்பனன்ட்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க, இது ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். லாஸ்ட்டாக மெரிட்ஸ் அண்ட் டிமெரிட்ஸ் பார்க்கலாம். ஸோ ஃபர்ஸ்ட் ஜென்ரேஷனில் பார்த்தீங்க அப்படின்னா காமனான ஒரு 3 டிமெரிட்ஸ் இருந்துச்சு. அது என்ன பார்த்தீங்கன்னா, பிக் இன் சைஸ், அதே மாதிரி ப்ரொடியூஸ் மால் ஃபங்க்ஷன் டியூ டு ஓவர் ஹீட் அண்ட் கன்சியூம் மோர் பவர். அதே மாதிரி மிஷின் லாங்குவேஜ் யூஸ் பண்ணாங்க உங்களுக்கு. ஸோ லாங்குவேஜஸ் டிஃபர் ஆகும், அந்த ஒவ்வொரு ஜென்ரேஷன்ஸ்க்கும் டிஃபர் ஆகும். அதே மாதிரி இந்த 3 டிமெரிட்ஸ் அப்படியே ஆப்போசிட்டாக அடுத்த வர அப்கமிங் ஜென்ரேஷன்ஸில் இருக்கும், காமனாக இருக்கும். எப்படின்னா, கம்ப்யூட்டர் சைஸ் வேர் ரெடியூஸ்ட், கம்ப்யூட்டர் ப்ரொடியூஸ் லெஸ் ஹீட், கம்ப்யூட்டர் கன்சூம் லெஸ் பவர். ஸோ இது காமனாக இருக்கும். அப்பார்ட் ஃப்ரம் தட் யூனிக் மெரிட்ஸ் அண்ட் டிமெரிட்ஸ் நான் எழுதி போட்டிருந்தேன். ஸோ இது மாதிரி ஜென்ரேஷன்ஸில் நம்ம என்னென்னலாம் மெயினாக எழுத வேண்டியது அப்படின்னா, ஃபர்ஸ்ட் இந்த நேம் ஆஃப் த ஜென்ரேஷன் எழுதணும், அப்புறம் பீரியட், த டியூரேஷன் ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். அதுக்கப்புறம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னா என்ன காம்பனன்ட்ஸ் யூஸ் பண்ணியிருக்காங்க ரொம்ப ரொம்ப முக்கியம். அதுக்கப்புறம் கடைசியாக மெரிட்ஸ் அண்ட் டிமெரிட்ஸ். ஸோ இது மாதிரி 6 ஜென்ரேஷன்ஸ் நம்ம பார்த்தோம். ஸோ இதெல்லாம் தான் நம்ம இந்த வீடியோவில் கவர் பண்ணுது. ஸோ இந்த நெக்ஸ்ட் வீடியோ we will start with the next topic, that is ஒரு டேட்டானா என்ன, வாட் இஸ் அ டேட்டா, ஒரு இன்ஃபர்மேஷன்னா என்ன, டேட்டாவுக்கும் இன்ஃபர்மேஷனுக்கு என்ன டிஃபரன்ஸ், அப்புறம் பேசிக் ஆப்ரேஷன்ஸ் ஆஃப் கம்ப்யூட்டர், தட் இஸ் இன்புட் அண்ட் ப்ராசஸ் அண்ட் அவுட்புட் அப்படின்னா என்ன அப்படிங்கிறத நம்ம நெக்ஸ்ட் வீடியோவில் பார்ப்போம். தேங்க்யூ.